Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
May one blow bubbles on Shabbos. A known kid-friendly activity is to take some soap and water, take a straw that contains a round, ring-like shape on its bottom, dip it into the soapy water and blow bubbles. And people inquire, may I do so on Shabbos? May my child do so on Shabbos? Usually adults don't find this as a very interesting activity, but at least the children, may one's children do so? Well, a general rule regarding Hilchos Shabbos vis-a-vis that which is forbidden and that which is permitted. In order for an action to be forbidden, it's not enough for it to just not sound like it should be okay. There has to be a legal reason based on the laws explained in Hilchos Shabbos in which this action would fall under, thereby being prohibited. Otherwise, if you can't find one, it's mutter. In other words, all actions on Shabbos are innocent till proven guilty, meaning until they have a basis to be forbidden under one of the laws of Hilchos Shabbos. With that introduction, let's now analyze blowing bubbles. So what action can blowing bubbles possibly fall under in the Shabbos prohibitions? So if you look through the Lamed Tes Malachas, they didn't blow bubbles in the Mishkan. We definitely don't have a precedent there. However, we do find a halacha which states, this is a rabbinical institution, in which the Chachamim stated it is forbidden to create new items on Shabbos or change the form of items on Shabbos. Commonly known example of this prohibition is to take a piece of ice and crush it into water, to take a solid and turn it into a liquid, to take soap that's hard and then turn it into a liquid in which it melts. This is called the prohibition of Mailid or Nailad. Now is not the time to go into and elaborate on the reason behind this prohibition, why the Chachamim made it us, in which there's many opinions in Rishonim, and it's for another discussion. But the fact of the matter is, they prohibited making a change of form in an item. Based on this, the question could be asked, does this prohibition include taking soapy water and turning it into bubbles? You're changing the form of the water. Is this under the prohibition of Ma'ila Davar Chadash or not? So one of the first poskim who dealt with a very similar question is the K'tzais HaShulchan in 146 footnote 32, discussing whether you're allowed to use liquid soap on Shabbos, as liquid soap, when you rub it on your hands, even if you diluted it with water, creates bubbles. And does that fall under the prohibition of Ma'ila Davar Chadash? And the conclusion of the K'tzais HaShulchan is, it is permitted. The foam that is created has no real substance. It's not like you turned ice into water. The ice is now water. The water is drinkable. The bubbles don't last. They go back to their original state. It's not under the prohibition of Mailid, so states the K'tzais HaShulchan. And so is practically the halacha accepted, and therefore all Klal Yisrael are accustomed to use liquid soaps on Shabbos, even though they create bubbles, as we do not define those bubbles, that foam, as Mailid. Based on this, one can argue that so too it is permitted to blow bubbles on Shabbos, as once again the principle remains that the foam has no substance, it falls apart, goes back to its original state, and does not transgress the Mailid prohibition, and practically so is the approach of many of today's poskim, and therefore children may blow bubbles on Shabbos. So rules the Shmir Shabbos Kilchasa 1630 in name of the famed posik of Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. So rules Shabbos Ka'alacha, Volume 3, Chapter 17, Halacha 79, Piskei Tshuvos 326, Halacha 13, and other Piskei Zmaneinu. However, further research reveals that there is a slight difference between the cases. When you use liquid soap to wash your hands or to wash a dish, you have no care or intent for the foam to be created. And therefore, perhaps only in that case is it permitted. But in a case where you're actively and intentionally blowing the bubbles, perhaps there we should be stringent. And so, in truth, concludes Shraga Hameir in 744 and Kavitz Beis Halevi 644 and Name Shlomo Zalman Auerbach and Nishma Shabbos 250, that in truth it is not similar and it is prohibited to blow bubbles on Shabbos, and you shouldn't allow even children who have reached the age of chinuch to do so. So we see that in essence this matter is a machlekes between Poskim Manenu, with some citing it is not a problem and others saying it is a problem because you intend to make the bubbles. Practically, the following arbitration seems appropriate in this case. For adults to blow bubbles on Shabbos should be avoided, not to enter into a chashash of an isser. What's the need? Find something else to play with. And so in truth writes Shmir Shabbos Kilchasa and the other Poskim Manenu, that adults should avoid it. However, regarding children, even if they reach the age of chinuch, they may blow bubbles on Shabbos without worry. You don't have to stop them. As in truth, the heter by soap has nothing to do with the fact that you didn't intend to make the foam, but due to the fact that the foam has no substance to it, which is the same applicable reason by blowing bubbles. So to summarize, children may blow bubbles on Shabbos, adults should avoid doing so, and there are poskim who are machmir even by children, and if one's Rav is of that position, then that's what he should follow.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.